So already the preseason finale is upon us. In the first 3 weeks, we did see some notable names released from their teams. Jared Allen and Bruce Miller were just a couple of them to be named. And heading into the final week of preseason, I realized what is on the line. I realized my future could come down to this final practice and this final game. So when I did get out there in the practice field, I had something to prove. This is a drill you guys have seen me do 3 times before, and I didn't pass it once. But here today, not only did I pass it, but I went ahead and I also did get a silver medal on the drill. So I went to my stats, and I'm doing the same thing I've done all preseason, and that is improve my carrying. So before you know it, my first preseason in my NFL career is almost over. But am I going to play well enough to stay a Carolina Panther? So I made sure that practice, that momentum I had, I carried it in to the final preseason game. I put together my best performance. You guys can see I already have 5 carries for 24 yards. Here, another big gain up the middle for a first down. But it wasn't just my, rushing attack. It was also everything else. You guys can see here I'm using my hands. I get a reception later on 1st and 10. Derek Anderson finds his receiver, and I'm out there laying blocks so he can pick up that first down. Later again in the game, 3rd and 1. You guys see me diving for that pylon and picking up the first down. I made sure when the coaches came down to the decision of keeping me on this team, there was no doubts left in their mind. So just like that, it's already week number 1 of the NFL regular season. Now you guys can see on the right side some of the analysts talking about how hard I've been working in practice. But it's not just me putting out extra effort in practice. You can see right here, one of the top stories, this word from practice, is that the Panthers have been putting in extra work after practice all week. And before you know it, like I said, it's already week number 1. It's our season opener. We are playing at Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers. You guys can see I'm taking this kick return. I am sharing duties with Ted Ginn Jr. Let's see what I can do with it here. I pick up a couple of blocks. I see a hole right side. I make a spin move, but I'm finally brought down by, my own teammate at the 35-yard line. Now, I didn't see my first action until about the 3rd quarter. We are up 14-3 at this point, and Cam Newton is going to find a receiver who's finally brought down at the 3-yard line, and then later on 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, the starting halfback, Jonathan Stewart, took that one in for 6. That did give us a 21-3 lead. Now, later on in the 3rd quarter now, Cam Newton, he's going to give me this carry. I see a hole. I take this one left side, and I take it for 27 yards, my first NFL carry. I thought for a second I was going to take that one all the way to the house. Now you can see there's under a minute remaining in the game. On 1st and goal, I do take this one up the middle for about a pickup of 3, and that would be the final play of the game. We come out with a week 1 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now I did have some XP to spend, but I'm not going to spend it yet because I need your guys' help on what I should spend it on. A lot of you guys have been telling me to put it on my awareness. That way my overall will increase quicker, and that way I can become a starter sooner than later. Now in week number 2, we are taking on the Detroit Lions. Now this is our home opener, so Luke Kuechly is definitely trying to get us fired up. And like I said, I want to become the starter as soon as possible because when Jonathan Stewart's the starter, they seem to give him every single carry. But if I was the starter, I can make sure, I'm picking play so Jonathan Stewart is also getting the ball. But here on 2nd and 1, really nowhere to go. Later on 1st and goal, Cam Newton, he's going to keep it himself, and he's going to end up losing 3 yards on the play. So he would end up having to settle for a field goal on the play. Now, for whatever reason, there's random times where they have me attempt a field goal, and I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't know if I could change that. If you guys could help me out. But we are up 3-0 at this point. 30 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter on 3rd and inches. And I do not convert. So 2 carries for 0 yards in the 1st quarter. Definitely not what I needed. So we came out and we took another field goal. So up 6-0. The Detroit Lions, they decided to run the ball down our throat. You can see Joique Bell and Theo Riddick are just running it all over the place. Finally, Stafford found Calvin Johnson. And then Theo Riddick would top it off with the 1-yard touchdown. So down 1 at this point. Cam Newton kept that one himself. I had a huge hole in that play. He does end up losing a couple. So on 2nd and 12, this is a counter play to me. I use my speed. I get to the outside, break out a 1 tackle, use a stiff arm, and I'm finally pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. You can see 3 carries, 421 yards. You can see on our first 2 possessions in the red zone, we did come up with field goals, but on the 3rd one, we would come away with a touchdown. So we find ourselves up 16-7. Starting off the second half, a kick now. and for whatever reason, it's not letting me control my players. So I'm talking about, there's some random glitches that happen in Madden's My Career that they definitely need to work on, but later in the fourth quarter, I finally am back out there. You can see the score is 31-21 now, so there's definitely been some action going on, but your boy's just been on the bench. So on 2nd and 3, Jonathan Stewart gets the handoff on the triple option, and that is good enough for a first down. But look at that, 23 carries for 310 yards by Jonathan Stewart. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but at the 2-minute warning now, on 3rd and 3, Cam Newton is going to find me for the first down, and that is going to do it for week number 2. So we keep the undefeated streak going. We are 2-0. We took a 38-21 victory home in this one. You can see Matt Stafford is disgusted by his performance, but check this out. 29 carries for Jonathan Stewart, 355 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This is what I'm talking about. The computer in these My Careers for Madden, they just act crazy, man. And when I got back to the top stories, they were all about Jonathan Stewart. So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2. If you're ready for episode 3, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, hopefully Jonathan Stewart doesn't keep running for 400 yards, or I may never become the starter in Carolina.